De islamitische vastenmaand Ramadan begint dit weekend. In deze reportage van de Arabische satellietzender Al Jazeera volgen we moslims in Nieuw-Zeeland op het zuidelijk halfrond en in IJsland in Europa op het noordelijk halfrond. Landen waar moslims in de minderheid zijn, maar waarbij de godsdienst toch voldoende aantrekkingskracht heeft, waardoor mensen toetreden tot deze religie. Wat betekent vasten in Ramadan voor deze nieuwe moslims en hoe heeft hun nieuwe identiteit hun leven veranderd?
The minority Muslim communities in Iceland and New Zealand face different challenges during Ramadan when it falls in June and July. But they share the same sense of reflection, giving and sharing, especially breaking their fast with friends and family.
في رمضان تزداد الأنشطة وتشمل الصغار والكبار والنساء والرجال، وأخص بالذكر هذا النشاط الطيب وهو الإفطار الجماعي. فيقوم المسجد بتنظيم الإفطار يوميا لكل أفراد الجالية الإسلامية الموجودة في هذه المدينة رجالا ونساء وأطفالا، ويتكفل أحد أفراد الجالية بإعداد هذا الإفطار، طبخه والإنفاق عليه وتقديمه.
For me, Ramadan is, it's the best time of the year. It's when we can, it's when the community gets together. We see a lot of brothers and sisters that we didn't see during the year. And plus, for me personally, it's training. It's like a training regime. We can push ourselves to do good deeds more, practice, all the things that it's hard for us during the year. Pray more at night. We don't eat during the day and we don't have to think about it, so we've got time to do other things.
Like we wouldn't really pull together for things like this unless it was for a funeral or something like that. But I've seen good changes out of my family through Islam.
أنا وصلت أيسلند سنة 1971. جئت مهاجر من فلسطين من القدس الشريف، ولم يكن هنا في أيسلند إلا حوالي 7 مسلمين من جميع أنحاء العالم، وكنا متفرقين في كل أنحاء البلد هذه الشاسعة، وما كان يجمعنا في الحقيقة مكان أو صلاة جماعة وكانت في الحقيقة صعبة جدا. ولكن عندما زاد عدد المهاجرين المسلمين وبدأ يزداد، فقررنا سنة 1997 تأسيس جمعية إسلامية، وكنا المؤسسين 5 أشخاص، وزاد عدد الأعضاء. في الوقت الحاضر في عندنا حوالي 1000 مسلم في البلد هنا.
It has been a big change. When I came to Iceland as a Muslim first, like in 1973, people were not very interested. They didn't know anything about Islam and they were not very interested. Some ladies married to some Muslims, that was the norm, but they were not very active in the mosque. Then Ali became Muslim for many years ago, but then I think it was 20 years without I didn't hear about anybody. But now I know at least like 6 or 7 people, and I hear from every day when somebody wants to become a Muslim.
And I always wanted to practice my religion seriously, and when I saw how devoted the Muslims were with their faith and everything that they were doing, then I found it to be desirable to be just like them, and I think that was what triggered my decision in becoming a Muslim.
I met a young boy from the countryside in the capital of Morocco, and one day he was a student at the university, And one day he took me to the mosque, to the Grand Mosque in Rabat, the biggest mosque. The mosque was empty, except for one old man sitting in the middle, in the center of the mosque, and he was reciting the Quran. And there something definitely happened with me. I can see it when I look at it now, that it was like my heart was opened with that.
هذه البلاد نيوزيلند بلاد وليدة وحديثة العهد بالمدنية، ولكن الله سبحانه وتعالى قدر أن يصل إليها الإسلام وينتشر فيها أيضا سريعا. أول إحصائية رسمية لعدد السكان في عام 1874 بيّنت أن عدد المسلمين في هذه البلاد 15 مسلما استقدموا من الصين ليعملوا في مناجم الذهب. في السبعينات من القرن العشرين بدأ تدفق عدد كبير من الهنود، وخاصة من دولة فيجي القريبة جدا من نيوزيلند، بدأوا يتدفقون إلى هذه البلاد ويستخدمون عائلاتهم. ولا يشك أحد الخبراء أن عدد المسلمين يتفوق على 50,000 نسمة، وهذا المعدل أو هذا العدد يساوي تقريبا 1% من السكان. وزيادة عدد المسلمين في هذه البلاد له شكلان. الشكل الأول الزيادة الطبيعية عن طريق المواليد، معدل المواليد، الفرق بين معدل المواليد والوفيات. ولكن الشق الآخر من زيادة عدد المسلمين هنا يعود إلى اعتناق عدد كبير من سكان البلاد الأصليين للإسلام. ونقصد بالسكان الأصليين للبلاد مورز، الموريين، ما يطلق عليهم الموريين.
Maoris once worshipped a wide range of gods until the early 19th century, when the majority became Christian. It wasn't until the 1970s that some were introduced to Islam, mainly through immigrants to New Zealand from the Middle East. Government figures show there were 1,074 Maori Muslims in 2006. In Hawke's Bay and especially Hastings, the number of Maori converting to Islam is increasing.
People might look at me like I'm not a Maori, you know, because of my clothing. But then they got to turn around and look at what they're wearing. And ancestors didn't walk around with, you know, bandanas on their faces or whatever, hoodies on. This is European clothing. This wasn't from this country. So I feel like before I became a Muslim, I didn't know much about Maoridom except what I learned at school. And that's not what our ancestors done. Going around drinking, and there was no alcohol in this country before the Europeans came and stuff like that. And then, you know, once I became a Muslim, then it became obligatory upon me to seek knowledge. And so now I know more about my history than I did before I was a Muslim. And I feel stronger and more, you know, intact with my Maoridom. Yeah.
Abdulaziz has clearly been on a personal, spiritual journey, but a big part of that has been bringing his family and friends with him. There's a sense of redemption for some of them, as their old life was on the edge, some of it on the wrong side of the law.
I was going to the mosque before I got converted. I had been going to the mosque for a pretty long time, and then one day Kepo or Aziz asked me, and I was like, I'm not sure, and he just kept on asking me, and then I just said yes, and yeah, and then I got converted.
I wasn't born Muslim. I'm converted. I've got, I got my family here. I got my family here. They look out for me. I look out for them. I just keep it, and all that. But yeah, pretty much.
It's actually been a real different, like, in my mind. It's like a whole difference in my mind. Like, before I had come to Islam, I used to get up to some out of it stuff. Just do a lot of stuff that was going to lead me in and out of jail for the rest of my life. And ever since meeting Islam and knowing the Sunnah, the way Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, used to act, his mannerism, it's helped. It's been a challenge, but it's also helped my everyday, my characteristics, me, myself.
Abdulaziz's journey began when a Māori Muslim talked to him about his faith and gave him a dawah, an invitation to Islam.
In 2007, my sister was staying with a Muslim family, the Māoris, and the brother that was staying with her, sometimes he used to talk to me about religion. He used to give me dawah.
I entered this bookstore and I asked the shopkeeper if he had some cassettes of the Quran. And he asked me if I was a Muslim. And I had to tell him that no, I was not a Muslim, but my mother is a Muslim.
He asked me, he goes, what do you know about, I guess, do you believe in God? And I said, yes.
And then he asked me, do you believe in angels? And then I said, yes, I believe in angels. And then he asked me if I believed in prophets. Yes, of course I believe in prophets.
And then, so I said to him, you tell me about God then. And he gave me a bit of dawah, he told me about Allah.
And then he said to me, and do you believe in holy books? Yes, I believe in holy books. But then you are a Muslim, he told me. You just don't know.
And when he was telling me all the stuff, I already believed it, because it's what I was thinking about anyway. What I thought was my own idea. I didn't know that the Muslims actually believed in that. So when he told me, then straight away I told him, I already believed that. I believe everything you said.
And then he asked me, and when are you going to admit it? When are you going to do Shahada? And I said, I don't know, maybe later, inshallah. And then he said, why not now?
And then I asked him, can I be a Muslim? And he said, yeah, you can be a Muslim.
And then I'm sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he closed my brain and he opened my heart totally.
So I took Shahada there.
And my brother, he sometimes makes a joke of it. He says, oh, my brother, he's a very strange guy. He went into a bookstore to buy a pen, a ball pen, and he came out a Muslim.
it is hard being a mother and fasting. Me and my husband wake up, prepare breakfast for me and Aziz, and we'll eat together, and then we'll shower, and then he'll go to the masjid, and then around that time baby Ali will wake up, and then I'll feed him, and while he's eating I'll read Quran until prayer, and then I'll pray, and then I'll read Quran usually till Aziz comes home, and then yeah, we just start our day from there pretty much.
Muhammad Ali was born in Iceland, but his wife, Lubna, originally comes from Pakistan, and they have a young son, Faisal.
Faisal, it's difficult to fast so long time?
No, it's not difficult.
Huh? Okay.
Now you're getting used to, because the first fast may be difficult, and now you're getting used to. Now at 11, 12 fast.
Subhanallah.
So he's slowly used to.
Yes, but it is very good that it is not longer, huh? That's good, isn't it?
Yes.
What about you, Lubna? You find it very long fast?
Yes, quite long fast, but not so difficult like Pakistan. Pakistan so much heat. Here not so much, but quite long.
Muhammad may have embraced a new faith 20 or more years ago, but Lubna has had to adapt to a completely new life in Iceland.
Before, when I came here, so difficult. First year me for so difficult here, because language and job and this and that. And now, alhamdulillah, everything is smooth. Now much better. And also special, I get like a Muslim house. No any changing in house. Like my mother-in-law also Muslim and he is Muslim. So as a home, I not so much feel different. It's change.
Abdulaziz's journey and conversion from his former dissolute life has had a marked effect on the whole extended family.
For me, Islam is the highest thing in the world. Like, it's the pinnacle, the top. Some people don't understand, you know. There's a lot of misconceptions about Islam, but when you see the real beauty of it and the truth of it, and then you just want it to be everywhere.
The struggle's just about the same, but with Islam you got Allah behind you. You got heaven to look at. You got a proper purpose, you know. And you've got a proper guidance in your life. And for me, I know where my kids are going to be, inshallah, which is in Jannah.
I love fasting. I always think about the less fortunate people in the world who they have no choice. It's very humbling, and spiritual-wise, it makes me feel as though I'm closer to Allah.
In 2009, I was still living in Oz, and my brother said on my eBay page, one day you're going to be a Muslim. And I replied, nah, never, I'll never be that, blah, blah. When we came back, just seeing how my brother had changed after he was drinking and drugging and everything.
You see a loving family and all of that sort of stuff. It wasn't always like that, but we were quite an angry family. But since the family have sort of gone towards Islam, there's a been quite a lot of peace that's come over our family, and it's been a good thing. A lot of change, and just the numbers that are so interested in it, it's quite phenomenal for around here. You know, we're all quite a low in status in society, and the changes I've seen out of my family has been awesome.
I want to be serious with my faith. I want to be serious about the fact that I believe in only one God, and that I pray, and that I can become a better person. I think that's what Islam is about.
After he decided to be a Muslim, then he really started to change his life. The first thing is he didn't want to drink alcohol. I find that very good. In my family we are not drinking alcohol, we don't like it so much. So I really pleased with this decision he made.
I would say that my life as a Muslim is in all ways blessed. In my opinion, there is much more space, much more room in Islam than many Muslims want it to be. It is a very difficult, especially when you're not surrounded by beautiful, good Muslims, and when you're reading, when you're getting your Islam through the Google and the internet. I think it is a very difficult journey. Islam is much more. There is room for much more spirituality, much more rahmah, much more beauty than many Muslims want it to be. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي وسلم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Wamfinga no mo bravo no kanya eju anu orele kispo nyamena ngapinga yusa ondro peni futuro manasari futuro ngawanga nu no mo boto no salo eju pari lona